You are now watching The Meech.
As I'm sure many of you are aware, Nintendo has put out demos of Super Mario Bros. Wonder across the United States. More specifically, with the store kiosk demos, you can find them at Target. I was able to play it at Best Buy, and I believe you also played it at Best Buy, correct?
I actually played it at GameStop.
Oh wow, so I guess it's more locations than I initially thought, but if you want to play the Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo, I would suggest calling the store you want to go to ahead of time, just calling to make sure that they have it, and, also making sure that it's playable there, because the way some Switch demos are set up, it's kind of weird. When I was at Target, Mario Wonder was not on the TV demo, but it was on the handheld ones, whereas with Best Buy it was on the TV, but not the handhelds. But before getting into our thoughts on the Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo, it started off with me playing the demo. A good friend of mine, Starchronics, is the one who told me all about it, and immediately I thought, okay, I gotta check this out now. So I went to Target, tried it out, and I sent you a video of me playing, and you're like, nice try. And then you realize that it was real, and you're like, oh my gosh, how is this real? How are you playing this? Why didn't you tell me? Well, there's a very specific reason, and that involves T&D's experience trying to play Super Mario Odyssey. So what was that all about?
Good times. Well, you see, you had told me that there was going to be a Super Mario Odyssey and Metroid Samus Returns demo at a Best Buy in New York. And naturally, since I'm around the area, I decided, well, this would be a good opportunity to play the game early and, try and see what it's all about. So, my brother and I decided to I think we actually took the day off from school, and we decided to go downtown, and we waited online. I think we went at 6 a.m. to go downtown to the city. Actually, it wasn't the city. I think it was somewhere in the Bronx. Anyways, we're there, and we soon realized that not just anybody could be there to play the demo. You had to participate in the Nintendo World Championships of that year. And not knowing this, I was so upset that I called you out on it. Admittedly, I was very upset, and it was very early, and I woke up early to play the game, and I was just upset that I couldn't play it. And I was more upset at the fact that you didn't know it was for just Nintendo World Championship players. But all in all, it's a funny story we could look back on now, because you always tell me that I played Mario Odyssey early, which is obviously a joke, but
yeah, the thing with that is, the message you left was a very serious F you, and it was early in the morning, what's going on? And from what Nintendo said, they said that you would be able to play Super Mario Odyssey and Metroid Samus Returns, but they didn't say you had to participate in the Nintendo World Championships 2017. But regardless, I've been cautious telling you about demos because I don't want a repeat of that. I don't want you to go to Target only to end up not finding the demo and getting another lovely message in return. But this time around, it seems like Nintendo got things together. This isn't tied to some Nintendo World Championships event. No, this is just a demo you can play at pretty much any store. But like I said, call ahead of time. It's a good idea just doing that. But
They are in Best Buys, Targets, and GameStops. I know that for sure.
Yeah, sorry for Canadians out there, but I don't think you're going to be able to play it at Target, or Zellers for that matter, but for us Yankees, sadly it probably isn't at Kmart. So, getting into it, I have some interesting thoughts on 2D Mario, and the thing is, the older you get, the more nostalgic you tend to get towards games that you grew up with. You might remember them as better than they actually were, but with 2D Mario, it's been quite the opposite. I've covered every new Super Mario Bros. Game, and just looking back in retrospect and playing more modern 2D platformers like Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze and Returns, Rayman Origins and Legends, I'd even say Yoshi's Crafted World. 2D Mario just felt outdated. It felt rudimentary. The level design felt robotic. It really just had nothing going for it in terms of style, and this was introduced with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and I tend to defend New Super Mario Bros. Wii a little bit, just considering that it was fairly original compared to what came afterwards. But with New Super Mario Bros. U, and specifically New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, the more I played it in this day and age, the more I realized this is boring. I don't really like this. And I didn't really want a new 2D Mario game, considering I thought that Nintendo might go in a similar direction again, because 2D Mario has a very distinct vanilla style where it's pretty much the basics of 2D platforming. And initially, I just wanted to go on to the next 3D game and didn't really care about a 2D game. Whereas you, on the other hand, were like, man, I want a new 2D Mario game. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you want another 2D Mario game when we could have another 3D Mario game?
Well, you have to understand that, at least from my perspective, so one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario Bros. 3. And I agree with the sentiment that you were saying that the new Super Mario Bros. Games, it's, I'm not going to lie to you, all of them are really tough to go back to now. There's a lot of great ideas there. There's a lot of things that have been solidified in the future of 2D Mario, like, you know, checkpoints or like certain power-ups or like certain abilities and stuff like that. But the problem with those games and comparing it to the likes of Mario 3 and World is that they are clearly nostalgia pandering to, you know, those games in the sense that they're not really evolutions of that gameplay style. It's more so like they're trying to mimic what they did, not even mimic, but just like aping on the nostalgia that the original games had. And I feel like in doing that, they created a very bland, safe, you know, art style and gameplay style that got old really, really quickly by the time New Super Mario Bros. 2 rolled around. I've never been a fan of the New Super Mario Bros. Games in the sense that they were successors to, you know, Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. I never really thought that. I thought they were their own thing, which I think they are. You know, I've never been a fan of the art style, super bland. Even as a kid, I wasn't really crazy about it. You know, and again, I grew up on games like Mario 3, Mario World. I'd even put Yoshi's Island in there as one of the best 2D platformers of all time. And you know, what all three of those games have in common is that they're all really distinct from each other, and they evolve 2D platforming in the Mario franchise forward. New Super Mario Bros. Didn't really do that. It was kind of safe, bland. So for the longest time, I've been hoping for a true, you know, successor to the original Mario game, something new, something fresh, something where I could be excited for, let's say, the art style or the power-ups or just the locations that we're going to. And I haven't gotten that for a while, but I think going back to your question, why did I want a new 2D Mario for the longest? It's because I wanted that same feeling I got when I played Mario 3 or Mario World, or even maybe to a lesser extent Yoshi's Island, because that's more of a Yoshi game, I would say. But it's just a feeling that I've been wanting for a long time. I've been wanting like a good 2D Mario game. Even replaying the Super Mario Land games, it made me wonder, man, it would be so cool if we had weird and wacky ideas in 2D Mario again, if it wasn't vanilla.
Yeah, and the thing is, I wanted that too. I just didn't think they would do it. Like, I expected something similar to the formula that they've set for the new Super Mario Bros. Games, because that even carried on into the Super Mario Maker games and Super Mario Run. Though admittedly,
Yeah.
I do love Super Mario Maker 2, but that's a different experience. That's more of a creator-driven thing, where it's about creating and sharing levels rather than being a streamlined experience like a 2D Mario game made by Nintendo. But with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, when it was revealed, I was honestly shocked. This appeared to be the true evolution of 2D Mario, and also being completely its own thing, introducing so many new ideas and concepts. And usually I'll stand by that a 3D Mario game is almost always going to be more exciting than a 2D one, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder is up there in terms of being as exciting as a 3D Mario game. Even more exciting in some aspects, but in terms of actually playing it, my opinions on the game, I have a lot more of them now, and fortunately, unlike in 2017 where you didn't play Odyssey, you got to play Super Mario Bros. Wonder as well. So, with that being said about me not initially wanting a 2D Mario game, you being all for a new 2D Mario game, and then us agreeing, yeah, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is absolute hype, what was your experience like playing the game for the first time?
I didn't get to sink my teeth into it as much as I would like to because it is unfortunately a timed demo for I think around 10 minutes. So my experience was just very brief. I did have 2 play sessions because the people at GameStop were nice enough to just let my brother and I play the whole time. We didn't even buy anything, we just played the demo. I played on the OLED Switch and I played on the regular Switch. Obviously, the OLED Switch looked a lot better. Um, with that said, the game looks gorgeous, first and foremost. That's the first thing you're going to notice. The game looks absolutely stunning, and, the art style really, it's beautiful. And it's something I've been wanting from a 2D Mario game for a while, where they mimic 2D animation sensibilities with 3D character models. Obviously 2D hand-drawn art styles are very expensive, so this is like a great medium for them to be at.
I wouldn't say it's a
One thing
compromise, I just say it's a different style.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, a 2D hand-drawn game would be very expensive, even like for most companies. But I'm
Nintendo
fine
would
with
be
the
able to
art
do
style
it.
how it is.
It's like
Uh,
Nintendo is desperate for money right now. No, I think they just went for something that was stylized. I'm not sure how I would exactly
I,
describe it, but I think where you were going, where it's like 2D with 3D models, I really love what they're going for. It looks great.
yeah, yeah, and I was gonna say that what I love about it is that this is a very tiny detail, but in the new Super Mario Brothers games, Mario, obviously you see him from the side, but you just see his side profile in those games, like straight on. In this game, it's almost like he's turned 3/4 of the way, almost as if it's like the old school 2D Mario games, like Mario 3 or Mario World, and it just evokes the same feelings of like joy and for lack of a better word, wonder that those games had. So I love that. Um,
It definitely
level
felt like
design is
Mario World in terms of presentation, which is a great thing.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, level design is great. Obviously, it's the first few levels, so it's not going to be too challenging. But I was surprised at how many secrets were jam packed into the levels, and I'm really excited to explore and dabble with different things that the levels have to offer. The elephant power up is so much fun. I think more fun than I thought it was going to be. It's just really fun, like whacking enemies with your trunk and throwing waters on dead flowers, and just making changes to the level happen. Uh, the Wonder Flower effects are really, really fun, and what I really like about the Wonder Flower effects is that you technically don't have to touch the Wonder Flower to beat the level, and sometimes that'll lead to you taking an alternate route than you would with the Wonder Flower, and I think that's really interesting. Um, and I think the last thing that I'll say is I did play as Mario and Luigi, uh, and I used the badges. And I'm going to be honest with you, the badges I think were kind of the best part of the experience for me. I didn't think I was going to like them as much as when I actually tried it. It's really fun to experiment and see which badge fits the level the most. And I actually think it was a good call to only equip one badge per level because, to be honest, it probably would have been too OP if you were able to attach 2 badges at once. But at the same time, it makes you think more strategically about how you're going to beat this level.
Yeah,
I only have I have one little caveat about the badges, but we'll get into that later. But overall, I was having a blast, and I just didn't want the demo to end.
Yeah, I was feeling the same way, and when it comes to the badges, I initially thought it would be a good idea for the characters to have their own abilities, like in Super Mario Bros. 2, but the badges essentially give characters different abilities, one of them being Luigi's signature high jump, and I will admit,
Yep.
it is a bit strange seeing Mario do the jump and then kick in the air just like Luigi, but the reason why the abilities were great wasn't because the defining abilities of the characters, it was because they added variety to the gameplay, and that's what these badges do. And you can apply them to any character you want. So, I've been having a blast with the badges. The ones I use the most were the parachute cap. That one was really fun. High jump as well,
Yeah.
since I love playing as Luigi, so why not make every character Luigi? And I even unlocked the wall climb one with one of the side missions, where there are certain
Oh,
levels where you play them and you get a badge. I played every level in the demo. There are 5 main ones, and I think there's one secret one, as well as one side mission where you get a badge. So I'll discuss a little bit
Yeah.
of the levels themselves, the power-ups and such, my experience with that. So I played the demo for probably over an hour. I went to Best Buy today to play more of it. I played it on the TV there. My first experience was with the OLED Switch, and that wasn't the most ideal situation considering that it was pretty dim in Target, which is lit pretty well. So I lifted up the Switch, which is attached to the AC adapter, just to get a better viewing angle, and the lady working there was thinking I was trying to yank it out or go ham or go insane on it. Okay, let's not do that. I'm like, oh, sorry, but in my mind I was thinking, what, you think I'm gonna rip the Switch out of the socket? But considering retail, I'm sure she's seen much worse, but no, I played it on the TV, and it's great. There's been a notion that Super Mario Bros. Wonder is just New Super Mario Bros. With a different art style, but that could not be further from the truth. See, the thing with Super
Yep.
Mario Bros. Wonder and how it evolves 2D Mario is its organic level design. There's a lot of interactivity with the environments, such as using the elephant power-up to water dead flowers, uncover secrets like the purple coins, and just regular coins. There is a lot of interaction you can do with the environments, and that is a highlight in games like Rayman Legends and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And that was missing from Mario, but we're seeing that finally implemented, and it is just so much fun. And like you said, there are many different secrets, giving these levels a lot of depth. Lengthwise, they're about the same as 2D Mario levels usually are. You could speedrun through them and clear them within a minute or so. But if you explore, which you can do since there's no time limit, there's a lot of things to uncover, and going through the demo, I uncovered a lot of secrets, and you're right, you don't even need to touch the Wonder Flower, but one of the levels I played with the Buffaloes, the Buffalo Girls! No, the Buffalo level, when you get the Wonder Flower and you ride on them, you get to go to a secret exit, and there's a comically large flagpole that you're going down, and I was playing as Toadette just for EB, the original master's sake, considering he loves Toadette. And I kid you not, the secret exit is a red Bowser flag, but the flagpole is comically tall. So there's a cutscene of Toadette going down the pole for like, I would say a good 10 seconds, and it's just hilarious. It's not just some secret exit, it's really a good attention to detail. And that's another thing I noticed about it. The attention to detail is just incredible. Of course, you have the talking flowers, and you have everything going on in the background. We talked about the presentation. Characters are very expressive. There's just so much personality and life throughout the presentation and the gameplay. But speaking of the flowers, many have been thinking, oh, these flowers will be annoying, but I love these guys. They're hilarious. They really just...
I like them too.
They're funny, they have interesting things to say, they can sometimes help you out and find secrets. But if you don't like them, you can turn off their voices, and the flower will even say, well then, was it something I said? And it really just has so much charm going on, and you can tell the developers were having a blast making this game.
Oh yeah, I did want to talk about one of the power-ups I did try. I think I tried the fire flower, and I did try the new drill power-up, and it's so natural to use all the new power-ups. It's like, I don't know if you felt the same way, but it's like these power-ups have been here the whole time, but they really haven't. It's so natural, and it fits Mario so well, especially this game where it's designed around. But
I
drill
hope there are
power-ups
more of them, though.
I do too. I do too, and I have a good feeling that we might. Because contrary to what is the usual here, Nintendo isn't showing too much of Mario Wonder, which is surprising. They've only shown, I want to say, whatever they've shown in the Direct is what they've shown. Besides, like one little thing that you know, I wouldn't say we got spoiled on the other day, but a Wonder effect that included a certain character. But other than that, nothing has been really revealed in
I hope
terms
they
of like
keep it
other
that way.
details.
I hope they keep the
I
surprise and wonder aspect to us and don't reveal too much about it. Because they revealed every kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey before it released. Not directly, but
yeah,
if you go back to the commercials, you'll see that yes, they did show off every kingdom. But I'm hoping they keep this game full of wonder still. But I will say the power-ups are great. Drill power-up was a
yeah,
lot of fun to use, although I do wish it was a dog Mario power-up that goes underground. That would be more clever, I think. But it's still really cool.
yeah.
And I like the color scheme where it gives Mario wears a black shirt with red overalls, and Daisy has Halloween colors. I played as all the characters, by the way, but everything about it, just level design wise, it was great. There's a lot of depth. Presentation is absolutely stunning, but I will say, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the music. I think it sounds good. I'm not sure how I feel about the acapella thing, but what are your thoughts on the music of the game?
Oh, I love the music. I think it's gonna be. I personally think it's gonna be one of the best Mario soundtracks. Um, at least 2D wise. I like the acapella a lot. It's better than the ba ba that
That's
we've heard for
Bacapella!
years. I don't even. Well, I guess you could call it that, but I actually really like one of the things I really like in terms of the music is that it's a cappella when you're playing as like let's say regular Mario, but when you turn to Elephant Mario, trumpets start playing in replacement for the a cappella.
That's a nice
And I think
detail.
it's just such a nice detail because it's like, oh, now I feel really big and strong because I'm an elephant, and the music signifies that. And I think that's such a like you were saying before, it's such a great layer of great level of detail that the developers have put into this game. It's like it's so great. Again, it feels like the level of care that's put into 3D Mario and like to another extent what 2D Mario used to get. Um, and I'm just really happy with what I'm seeing. To be honest with you, I don't have a lot of bad things to. Actually, I don't really think I have much bad things to say. I think I only have one thing that's more of an annoyance, but I struggled trying to find something negative to say.
Yeah, I could do a whole Demetrius Fury segment, but I'd have to start making things up about Mario Wonder because, yeah, there was pretty much nothing I didn't like about the game. In terms of the core experience, I would say that just based on the demo, it is one of the games I've played that's really close to perfection. From an objective and
Yeah,
personal standpoint, I absolutely love what I played. And, just going back to the
I agree.
power ups when you were mentioning how they have different music and stuff, that is a great attention to detail. And, with Mario Wonder and the music, I think the acapella thing, it will grow on me, but what I like from 2D Mario, if you guys have played Mario forever, I do like chip tunes, I kind of like the techno thing. That's more of what I want to see from it. It could very well have that, but still, everything looks, sounds, and plays excellently. So is there anything we didn't like? Well, I think it's quite obvious what my gripes with the game are. There's one that's a nitpick, one that's a bit more substantial, but other than that, I don't really have much to say in terms of things I didn't like about the game. Okay, first one.
Well,
Well, there's actually three
yeah.
of them, but go on.
Well, I already know that your critiques have to do with characters, so I'll let you get that out of the way.
Okay, first critique. Just I wanted to play more of it. The fact that it was a timed demo, that's kind of it, but that really isn't a criticism that will apply to the game. That was just my
Yeah.
experience. It's so good, you want to keep on playing more of it. My other complaint, the 10 flower coins that you collect, I think their design could be more distinct. It's just literally a flower coin with a 10 on it. Why not have something like star coins or something a bit more creative? But really,
Mm,
those essentially act like star coins. So there's three of them to
mm,
collect, in addition to the Wonder Seeds and reaching the goal, which is great. I love having that level of depth and layers to 2D Mario levels, and it's going to be in Wonder too. Like I said though, I just wish the design for the 10 coin purple flowers was more creative. But then, I played as every character, and I still can't get over the fact that Yoshi is an easy mode character. Like for Nabbit, I would love for him to be more fleshed out and be able to power up and be like a main character, but since he debuted as an easy mode character, I understand that. And his ability that differs from the Yoshi's, he can collect more of the purple coins, so that's nice. It's New Super Mario Bros. 2 all over again. But Yoshi, he's a fan favorite. His abilities are just like playing as him in Yoshi's Island, except he can't throw eggs. Why not have Yoshi be one of the main playable characters and just have Nabbit as an easy mode character? Or at the very least, maybe we could have a purple Yoshi we unlock at the end of the game that can power up and take damage. It just stinks that Yoshi has such a fun moveset and is such a fun character, but I'm not going to play as him because I can't stand easy modes. Or as I like to call them, gaming journalist modes.
I think my theory is that most of the characters, actually all the characters, relatively play the same, and most of the attributes that, like, say, Luigi would have are relegated to badges. Yoshi's really the only one who has, he could eat enemies and spit them out, and, like, hover jump, flutter jump. I guess maybe they thought he would be too OP, but in that case, you could have just made him play like the other characters, but then at the same time, would people be okay with that? It's kind of a slippery slope, because I understand what you mean. My little brother is a huge Yoshi fan, and I'm not going to lie to you, he was super disappointed that he's not really going to play as Yoshi the way he really intended to play as him. But in terms of my criticism, I only really have one criticism on my hand. So, and this is kind of a nitpick on my end. I don't know if you, I don't know if this is something you notice either, but when you equip a badge, sometimes the badges are, activated using, let's say, the trigger buttons, right? What ends up happening is that it fully replaces your spin jump that you have. And because of that, it kind of threw me off at first, because I didn't know that I already had the hat power-up, the hat badge, attached to me in the first level. So I was trying to activate the spin jump to see how it felt, and I just kept activating the hat power-up. So I was a little disappointed that I couldn't use a badge and also use the spin jump at the same time, just because I'm so used to using it from the new Super Mario Bros. Games and Super Mario World. However, it's really not that big of a deal, and like halfway through my play session, I started getting used to it, and also, like, if I didn't really want to play with the badge and just wanted the spin jump, I could use that too. And I understood, like, later on that it was more of like a balance issue too. But yeah, that was really the only thing that sort of annoyed me at first, but after playing it a little bit more, it really wasn't that big of a deal.
I didn't find it to be a deal at all. I think it just made sense, and why would you want to spin jump when you have the parachute cap anyway? That's how I felt about it, but I see where you're coming from. But man, after playing the Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo, October 20th can't come soon enough. And I think it's fair to say this is the greatest time to be a Mario fan.
Yeah, I would say so. The only thing we're missing is 3D Mario. Where the heck is it?
Probably next console. Same goes for Mario Kart 9. But anyways, I think this about wraps it up. I'm Demeech.
And I'm TND.
And that's Apollo. And keep calm and da-da on. Alright, Apollo. We gonna play Chase the Chuck Wagon?